We are living through, in a 67-year period that stretches from 1945 to 2012, a compressed version of a larger historical epoch, 4,306 years long, that also ends in 2012. So that we have reached, by this reckoning, the late 700s right now. This is what we are living through. And ahead of us lies the Gothic Renaissance, the European Enlightenment, the discovery of the Newtonian mechanics, the discovery of the New World. That all lies ahead of us. It all has to be compressed into the next 22 years of time. And that is what accounts for the crazy quality of modernity. It's what accounts for fads and fashions. You know, hemlines are rising and falling in a rhythm based on the rise and fall of empires millennia ago. And these things are as causally linked as the orbit of the Earth is linked to the sun, you see. Because we are being drawn toward the attractor through shorter and shorter epochs. And not only must the entire last 4,000 years of history be compressed into this 67-year period from 1945 to 2012, but there is a 384-day period preceding December 22nd, 2012, when the last 67 years and the last 4,300 years have to be compressed into that. Then there's a final 6-day period when all of these things are compressed again. And so do you see what's happening? The spiral is tightening as it goes faster and faster. The resonances are impinging. The thing is getting nuttier and nuttier and nuttier as computers link all cultures together, all informational barriers dissolve. Everything is becoming connected to everything else. Not only everything in the present moment, but all past moments as well are being drawn, compressed, squeezed toward the production of the transcendental object at the end of time, which is nothing less than all time, all space, shrunk down to an atomic dimension and handed back to us. Do you see? The way Joyce constructed Ulysses was he had a character who was walking around Dublin in a fog trying to buy some kidneys to fry for breakfast, and Joyce made of his peregrination from one seedy bar to butcher shop and back, bordello, he overlaid it over the geography of the Mediterranean and the chronology of the Homeric wars, the Trojan Wars, and produced a novel which was in resonance with a much larger historical period. I believe this is how reality really works. I mean, I have a saying, Rome falls 9 times an hour. And it's your job to be sensitive to this. You can feel it when it falls. You can feel the rise of Chaldea, the spread of the Slavic peoples, the burning of Çatalhöyük, while you're vacuuming your apartment. Or having sex. All that stuff that's cycling. Those aren't your thoughts. Those are the thoughts of the Gaian matrix as these resonances mesh and reflect and work their way against each other. Nazi Germany down here, World War II, fought across the bottom of this trough. After World War II, everybody was sick to death of novelty. They'd seen about all of it they could stand. Death camps, radar, V-2 rockets, propaganda, radio, massive displacement of populations, eugenics, 1,000-year genetic control myths, master race theory. Enough already. And after Germany was kicked to pieces, all people wanted to do was go home, have some kids, mow the lawn, put their feet up and watch the game. And they did that. And this is the post-war Reconstruction era where the stress is all about, let's get back to normal. That was even a motto after 1945, return to normalcy and so forth. But then there are these, you know, little stumbles along the way called Sputnik, assassination of John F. Kennedy, so forth and so on. And then as you come across the top, right here, the great turning point, 1967-68, you've got it all. You've got LSD, you've got a youth revolution, you have technology reaching for the moon, literally, and the moon landing is right there, right there. So, and then it all, and that whole, the 60s obviously blew the lid off of things and started a descent into novelty in which we are still experiencing and reeling from. It's a direct resonance to Homeric Greece. And the hippies did have a Grecian quality. I mean, all those barefoot people in robes practicing their vegetarianism and playing their flutes and gathering in green spots. Now notice that I have not reconfigured the wave from the first time when I set it for 6 billion years. We've come through planetary dynamics, we've come through evolutionary dynamics, we've come through the dynamics of ancient civilization. We now only have 5 years and 7 months on the screen. And what have we got? Okay, I'll show you what we've got. First of all, George Bush is elected right here, which means that Ronald Reagan leaves office right here. This is the absolute resonance for the fall of the Roman Empire. And Ronald Reagan clearly is the carrier of that energy, you know, the imperial style, the whole tone of the thing was Roman. Now, now we have to account for this. What is this low point? It's Tiananmen Square, on the money. And if you don't think that was a novel event, try to picture it. 2 million people crowd into the capital city of the largest governmental entity on the planet and bring it to a screeching halt until it finds a solution, mass murder, the most traditional solution to these kinds of problems, and then the wave turns up. There's nothing novel about murdering large numbers of people. That is the traditional response to many situations. Okay, Tiananmen Square is there. The next thing we have to account for is right there.
I believe that dangers await only those who do not react to life.
Berlin Wall comes down right there, on the money, on the day, right there. Okay. That little saddle there, the absolute resonance to the birth of Muhammad. It's the day Saddam Hussein invades Kuwait. This is the only original idea that I have ever come up with. The rest is just telling you what Schultes and Hoffman and everybody knows and what you could find out by spending time in a good medical library. This is original. And my notion of what the psychedelic experience is for is that we each must become like fishermen and go out onto the dark ocean of mind and let your nets down into that sea. And what you're after is not some behemoth that will tear through your nets, foul them, and drag you and your little boat, you know, into the abyss. Nor are what we're looking for a bunch of sardines that can slip through your net and disappear. Ideas like, have you ever noticed that your little finger exactly fits your nostril? And stuff like that. What we are looking for are middle-sized ideas that are not so small that they're trivial and not so large that they're incomprehensible, but middle-sized ideas that we can wrestle into our boat and take back to the folks on shore and have fish dinner. And every one of us, when we go into the psychedelic state, this is what we should be looking for. It's not for your elucidation. It's not part of your self-directed psychotherapy. You are an explorer, and you represent our species. And the greatest good you can do is to bring back a new idea, because our world is endangered by the absence of good ideas. Our world is in crisis because of the absence of consciousness. And so, to whatever degree any one of us can bring back a small piece of the picture and contribute it to the building of the new paradigm, then we participate in the redemption of the human spirit. And that, after all, is what it's really all about.